First of all, let me thank all of you for being here. First, I want to thank my colleague, Congressman Lynch, and certainly I thank Congressman Dennis Kucinich for being with us today. As the ranking member of the committee that handles the Postal Service, Congressman Lynch has been a tireless advocate for our nation's postal workers, and it is indeed a privilege to have him join us today. And he is an original co-sponsor of the legislation to strengthen the Postal Service for the next century. Congressman Kucinich has been a strong advocate of making sure that we maintain a viable postal system, that we make sure that people are employed, but at the same time make sure that we right-size the postal system. And I want to thank you, Congressman, for your support. Despite the headlines and rumors, ladies and gentlemen, the Postal Service is not on death's doorstep. But the Postal Service is facing some serious financial challenges. Since 2008, mail volume has declined from 212 billion pieces of mail to about 167 billion this year. That's quite a decline. As a result, the Postal Service could lose up to $10 billion by the end of this year. Today's sluggish economy only makes matters worse. The Postal Service can no longer remain a viable public service by simply selling stamps and renting post office boxes. It must innovate and adapt to today's changing marketplace. And as I've often said, the marketplace changes from the morning to the night. It used to change within a year, now it changes within hours. So today we are introducing the Innovate to Deliver Act, also known as I2D Act. This legislation will enable the Postal Service to meet its financial challenges by implementing reforms in 3 core areas: profitability, personnel, and performance. Profitability, personnel, and performance. Unlike other proposals that would merely slash services, personnel, and facilities, our bill tackles fundamental challenges with the fundamental changes that will reverse the Postal Service's fiscal curve. Here is what our bill does. It authorizes the Postal Service to enter into new lines of business that leverage its unique advantages such as check cashing, facility leasing, and retail services. 2, it creates a new Chief Innovation Officer to drive the development of these innovative products and services, as well as new core mailing services. 3, it corrects the overpayments made by the Postal Service to its retirement system. And it allows the right sizing of its workforce by enabling the Postal Service to provide incentives for voluntary separation and early retirement. We should keep in mind that since 2008, the Postal Service has shed 100,000 employees. They work tirelessly to try to right-size the organization. And the one thing we don't want is just throwing people out of the system without trying to work with them so that they can have some type of early retirement, retire with dignity. We must also remember that these people have given their blood, their sweat, their tears to making sure that every single piece of our mail has been delivered for years. And that is very important to us, particularly at a time when the job market is not so good, and particularly at a time when we are going through this recession. Finally, the bill streamlines regulations and procedures to ensure that the Postal Service's excellent performance record is preserved and improved. These new authorities will empower the Postal Service to function more like a business by focusing on profitability and accountability to stakeholders, and in this case, the most important persons, the American public, constituents, that we were sent here to represent. One thing the Innovate to Deliver Act will not do, is deny workers a right they are guaranteed in contracts negotiated in good faith with the Postal Service management. I might add, one of those contracts negotiated just 5 months ago. This step is both counterproductive and unnecessary, and it is not the American way. In recent weeks, we have met with the Postal Service, postal workers unions, and the administration as we were drafting this bill. I'm proud to say that these key stakeholders support many of the provisions in the bill. Later today, the committee will hold a markup on Chairman Issa's Postal Service legislation. That'll be done in subcommittee. Unfortunately, I do not believe this bill has the same level of support. I would encourage the chairman to bring my bill to the committee for a vote and to work with the minority to find a bipartisan way. People have often looked back at the November elections of 2010 and came up with all kinds of things that they thought were being mandated. I know that Congressman Lynch and Congressman Kucinich agrees with me. What the people were saying is that they want us to work together to find solutions to their problems, and they also want to make sure that we create jobs. They don't want to be cutting back jobs, they want to create jobs. And so I repeatedly expressed to Chairman Issa my desire to work together to craft a comprehensive bill we can both support, and I'm deeply saddened that to date he has rejected that path. The Postal Service touches all of our districts and is valued by all Americans. We should be working together in a bipartisan way to save one of America's most treasured and trusted public institutions, the United States Postal Service. And with that, I call on Congressman Lynch, Stephen Lynch, the Chairman, the ranking member of the Subcommittee. Thank you.